Namaste, everyone. Thank you for joining us for another session of Yoga Insights from Indica Yoga. So today's Yoga Insights will feature Sanskrit and chanting teacher Marina Muktidhara. Marina was inspired by the Vedas and the sound system of the Sanskrit language during her Indology studies in Zagreb and Berlin. She studied classical and Vedic Sanskrit, Indian philosophy, literature, and religion as part of her formal education at the university. And she also studied yoga at the Bihar School of Yoga and deepened her knowledge on various topics that support her own spiritual practice. In this session, Marina will introduce the listener to a great shakta known as the Devi Mahatmyam. This will be the perfect preparation also for Chaitra Navaratri, which starts on 22nd March. So let's all welcome Marina. Please join us. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining this session with Indica Yoga. And I'm just going to hand over this session to now and to you, and I'll see all of you towards the end when we open for Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Thank you. Thank you, friends, for joining and for giving me the opportunity to share my humble contribution to this amazing work that Indica Yoga is doing. So I'm very excited to, I wanted to share my screen, just a second. So I want to introduce you to this amazing topic of today, and this is Path to Divine Mother. And I wanted to just let me see. I apologize for my clumsiness with sharing screen. So one more time, I will try to do it. Okay. So I hope you can see now my presentation. So thank you one more time for joining, and good morning, good evening, wherever you are joining from. So today I will say something very small, some small theoretical details about Devi Mahatmyam. And I will also offer you a practical gift which you can take for these Navaratri days and use it in everyday's life. So now that we are approaching Chaitra Navaratri, or Spring Festival Vasanta Navaratri, you may be able to use this small gift for everyday sadhana. Before I open this topic, I just wish to acknowledge the lineage of my teachers and gurus, who are always my inspiration and who fuel my curiosity to study and to deepen my knowledge and my understanding of life in whole. So, my main teacher is Shantala Sri Ramaya. She is the founder and director of Veda Studies, or Veda Belgium. She is based in Belgium, and I'm studying with her chanting. And then I have a whole range of teachers, many more than these here, which you can see. Swami Vishwashakti, Swami Niranjananda Saraswati from Bihar School, Guruji Amritananda from Devipuram, Dr. Sumit Kesarkar, and Dr. Kavita Chinayan. So all of them have inspired me, and I continue my journey only because of their grace and their guidance. As Sophia already told, I'm very much inspired by the sound, so I must say my immense gratitude to my main teacher, Shantalaji, which is sharing the knowledge of Vedic sound with me. So, as we do it in our tradition of Veda studies, I will open our session with chanting the invocations to Ganapati and to Saraswati. Take a moment, close your eyes. You can put your hands in Namaskara Mudra. And now, if you know the chants, you can join me. If not, you can just enjoy the sound. Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om Ganana Atva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinam Upamashravastamam Jyeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashanvannuti Dasadanam Mahaganapataye Namaha Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinama Vitriyavatu Ano Divo Brahata Parvatada Saraswati Ajata Gantu Yajnam Havan Devi Jujushana Ghritachi Shakman No Vacha Mushati Shrunotu Vagdevyai Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for bearing with me. So by this we ask Ganapati to remove the obstacles from our way, and also Devi to bless us and to give us the opportunity and ability to keep what we will do today, and to inspire us to use it in our lives. So today's title is Path of Divine Mother, and I want to present you some details of Devi Mahatmyam. So first, what is Devi Mahatmyam? So Devi Mahatmyam is a popular devotional text in mainstream Hinduism, and it is written in Sanskrit. It represents actually the root text of Shaktism or Shakta stream of Hinduism. And together with Devi Bhagavatam and Devi Upanishad, it is the main text in this stream. Literally, Devi Mahatmyam is the glory of Goddess, of Divine Mother. And it is also known as Durga Saptashati. So it means Durga Saptashati. Saptashati means 700. So 700 verses which are dedicated to Goddess Durga. And we know the same text also under name Chandi or Chandi Patha, where Patha is referring to reading. So it refers actually to a ritual reading, to Chandi. This is a Sanskrit text that dates approximately into the 5th or 6th century, because already in 10th century, it was very well established and known. So the oral tradition of the text may be even older, because the written form in India came pretty late, as we all know. Yes. So Devi Mahatmya, just like Bhagavad Gita, is a part of a bigger, larger work, which is Mahabharata. So also is Devi Mahatmya a part of a larger work, which is called Markandeya Purana. So what is Markandeya Purana? This is one of the great Puranas. There are 18 great Puranas, and Markandeya is one of these Puranas. And just to say or to mention what Puranas, where do Puranas belong in this great scheme of Sanskrit literature, so you may follow easier. So we have Shruti, and this is a corpus of Veda itself, which is consisting of a layer of Samhita, then Brahmana, then Aranyakas and Upanishads. And this is considered Shruti, which means this is a heard. And who has heard this? The rishis heard this during their tapas and deep meditation. This is this corpus of Veda has no authorship, so it is divine in origin. It is Apaurusheya, which is not from a man. And then we have Smrti literature. Smrti literature is everything else, to make it short. So this means all other texts which are a part of Indian literature, and these are, of course, Puranas, as we are now talking about, and, for example, Itihasa and so on. So Itihasa is a history. So Markandeya Purana is a Purana, very, very old Purana, one of the older, and the integral part of Markandeya Purana is Devi Mahatmyam. So it says that it forms the chapters 81 to 93, although I found in original text something else. But never mind, this is not important. Nobody will go there and look. Yes. So I wanted to say that these stories in the Markandeya Purana are a conversation between Markandeya and Jaimini and the disciples. This is always made in a form of conversation. So just to also say something in general about Puranas. So Puranas were, just let me see yes. So Puranas are, in general, have the meaning, the word has the meaning old or ancient, and they were presenting very, very vast themes or topics in the Puranas. So they were presenting like myths, legends, cosmologies, different religious ceremonies, or genealogies of gods, kings, heroes, and so on. So and also about pilgrimages. So why these Puranas are very valuable source for the history and for the understanding of this heritage that we have in as a whole. because some the ideas that were presented in the Vedas, they were very difficult to be understood by simple people as me, for example, and us. uh, and so the Puranas were mostly told in a form of stories, of different stories, so that common people, folk, could understand and follow the story. As I said, the ideas are much, much, much older, but only presented in another way, because the revelation in Vedas, these were poetic verses, which are all considered mantra. And this is smrti, so something that was heard and now retold. So Puranas are mostly anonymous texts. They have many authors over the centuries. And now one small part of one genre inside of the Purana is called also Mahatmya. Just for you to understand why Devi Mahatmya. So Mahatmya is a genre that represents actually exaltation of something, of some greatness. And this greatness may refer to pilgrimage, to some place like Varanasi or so, or to some ritual or deity. In this case, we have a Mahatmya of the Devi. So now for you to understand, and also this genre is very much infused with religious power. This is very important. So in the Purana itself, in the Markandeya Purana itself, there is a legend which says that goddess Parvati herself gave a boon to sage Markandeya, which then wrote Durga Saptashati, 700 verses on goddess Durga. And this was actually the goddess Parvati asked him to write this for her. Oh, sorry. So just let me see. Okay, yeah, I'm a little bit late with my presentation. You must forgive me. Next time I will be better. So, so just to explain a little bit about the structure of Devi Mahatmyam, it is a vast Mahatmyam. It is consisting of 13 chapters, which are then divided into 3 episodes or 3 charitas, and Prathama, Madhyama, and Uttama Charitra. Each of the charitas or charitras, we can also say, has, for example, Prathama Charita has only 1 episode. It is the shortest one. The second has 2 to 4 chapters, 2 to 4, and the last Uttama is the longest one, the chapters 5 to 13. And at the beginning of each episode, a different presiding goddess is invoked. So just to understand what is the story of Devi Mahatmyam. Let me share. Okay. So, sorry. So just to touch the story of Devi Mahatmya, the Devi Mahatmya actually has a frame story, which is narrated by the Markandeya. And it is about dispossessed king which is called Suratha, then a merchant, which is called Samadhi, and a sage, Medhas, sorry. So, and this story is extending throughout the whole Devi Mahatmyam, so that it begins at the beginning, and then on some small places it is again it is again mentioned in just few sentences, and then it is at the end the conclusion again. And in the middle of the Devi Mahatmyam, there are these great battles of Devi with asuras or demons. And this we will not discuss today, how Devi is defeating these asuras. But I will say just like this, in the middle of these bloody battles, there are 4 wonderful suktams or hymns, which are the main interest of today's presentation. And so why I chose this is because we are approaching Navaratri, and you may know that there are 4 Navaratris during the year, and the most important being Sharada or autumn Navaratri, and Vasanta, or also called Chaitra Navaratri. And very interesting also like a legend is that it was said that if one wants to escape the mouth of God Yama, which is god of death, which is represented by 2 months, Puratashi and Panguni, this is in Tamil, one should celebrate at least 2 most important Navaratris, which I just mentioned. Also there is one small interesting also legend that that says that Durga Ma sat on the tip of a needle for 9 days. She were doing penance and tapasya to destroy the great demon Mahishasura. And while she was doing these penances, she was meditating on herself during the first 3 days. Then the next 3 days, she was meditating on Mahalakshmi, and the last 3 days on Mahasaraswati. So these 3 sets of 3 days are representing the divine cosmic power in 3 forms, which actually represents our progression from tamas, which is also symbolically represented by the first charita, then over rajas to sattva, which is the last charita. And eventually, if we transverse all these 3 gunas, we gain liberation. So just as I said, we celebrate Durga, Mahalakshmi, and Mahasaraswati during these 9 days. And now to say about these wonderful hymns that I want to mention to you. They appear in 1st, 4th, 5th, and 11th chapter of Durga Saptashati. And these are Brahma Stuti, Shakradi Stuti. This is a small and Aparajita Stuti and Narayani Stuti. Today we will see Aparajita Stuti, which is also called Tantroktam Devi Suktam, and it is from the fifth chapter in Devi Mahatmyam. I just want to mention that I will chant now so you can join me. I will chant for 2 times, and you can repeat over my voice. And so you can learn this wonderful stuti and have it as a sadhana during Navaratri days. I want to just shortly mention that I will be respecting the Veda chanting rules, which means just as we chant Vedas, all these rules I will be applying also in chanting Smriti text, this one, yes, which is not a part of Veda. But I will do it to keep the integrity of Sanskrit language and also to have some wonderful form of chanting. But if you are used to do it differently, then there is no problem. If you don't want to, to respect Anusvara rules, Anusvara changes, this is not a problem. You can do it your way. So now I will go to the slide. I hope you can see this. And so we will start with learning. Om Namo Devyai Mahadevyai. Namo Devyai Mahadevyai. Shivaya Satatan Namaha. Shivaya Satatan Namaha. Namah Prakrityai Bhadrayai. Namah Prakrityai Bhadrayai. Niyata Pranatasmata. Niyata Pranatasmata. Namo Devyai Mahadevyai Shivayai Satatan Namaha. Namah Prakrityai Bhadrayai Niyata Pranatasmata. A second. Raudrayai Namo Nityayai. Raudrayai Namo Nityayai. Gauryai Dhatriyai Namo Namaha. Gauryai Dhatriyai Namo Namaha. Jyotsnayai Chendurupinyai. Jyotsnayai Chendurupinyai. Sukhayai Satatan Namaha. Sukhayai Satatan Namaha. Raudrayai Namo Nityayai Gauryai Dhatriyai Namo Namaha. Jyotsnayai Chendurupinyai Sukhayai Satatan Namaha. Third one. Kalyanyai Pranata Vridhyai. Kalyanyai Pranata Vridhyai. Siddhyai Kurmo Namo Namaha. Siddhyai Kurmo Namo Namaha. Nairityai Bhubhritam Lakshmyai. Nairityai Bhubhritam Lakshmyai. Sharvanyai Te Namo Namaha. Sharvanyai Te Namo Namaha. Kalyanyai Pranata Vridhyai Siddhyai Kurmo Namo Namaha. Nairityai Pratyai Bhuprutan Lakshmi Sharvanye Te Namo Namaha. Fourth. Durgaye Durga Paraye Durgaye Durga Paraye Saraye Sarvakarinye Saraye Sarvakarinye Khyatyai Tathaiva Krishnaye Khyatyai Tathaiva Krishnaye Dhumraye Satatan Namaha Dhumraye Satatan Namaha Durgaye Durga Paraye Saraye Sarvakarinye Khyatyai Tathaiva Krishnaye Dhumraye Satatan Namaha Ati Saumyati Raudraye Ati Saumyati Raudraye Natastasyai Namo Namaha Natastasyai Namo Namaha Namo Jagat Pratishtaye Namo Jagat Pratishtaye Devyai Krityai Namo Namaha Devyai Krityai Namo Namaha Ati Saumyati Raudraye Natastasyai Namo Namaha Namo Jagat Pratishtaye Devyai Krityai Namo Namaha. And now the most famous part. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Shabdita Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Shabdita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Vishnu Mayeti Shabdita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetanetyabhidhiyate Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chetanetyabhidhiyate Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha. So the second part, which is all the time repeating, I will be chanting only once. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhirupena Samsthita Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Buddhirupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samsthita Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Nidra Rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Kshudha-rupena Samsthita Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Kshudha-rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chaya-rupena Samsthita Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Chaya-rupena Samsthita Namastasyai 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 Namo Namaha या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु तृष्णारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु क्षान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु जातिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लज्जारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु कान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु वृत्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु स्मृतिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु दयारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु तुष्टिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः या देवी सर्वभूतेषु भ्रान्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः इन्द्रियाणामधिष्ठात्री इन्द्रियाणामधिष्ठात्री भूतानां चाखिलेषु या भूतानां चाखिलेषु या भूतेषु सततं तस्यै भूतेषु सततं तस्यै व्याप्तिदेव्यै नमो नमः व्याप्तिदेव्यै नमो नमः इन्द्रियाणामधिष्ठात्री भूतानां चाखिलेषु या भूतेषु सततं तस्यै व्याप्तिदेव्यै नमो नमः चितिरूपेण या कृत्स्नमेतत् चितिरूपेण या कृत्स्नमेतत् व्याप्य स्थिता जगत् sthita jagat Chitirupena ya kritsnametat vyapya sthita jagat Namastasyai 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 namo namaha. The last two verses are slightly changed in chandas, in meter. Stuta surai purvamabhishta sanshrayat. Stuta surai purvamabhishta sanshrayat. Tatha surendrena dineshu sevita. Tatha surendrena dineshu sevita. Karotu sana shubha heturishvari. Karotu sana shubha heturishvari. Shubhani bhadranyabhihantu chapadaha. Shubhani bhadranyabhihantu chapadaha. Stuta surai purvamabhishta sanshrayat tatha surendrena dineshu sevita. Karotu sana shubha heturishvari shubhani bhadranyabhihantu chapadaha. And the last one, 30th. Yasam pratanchodhata daityatapitair. Yasam pratanchodhata daityatapitair. Asmabhirisha chasurair namasyate. Asmabhirisha chasurair namasyate. Ya chasmrta tatkshanameva hantinaha. Ya chasmrta tatkshanameva hantinaha. Sarvapado bhakti vinamra murtibhihi. Sarvapado bhakti vinamra murtibhihi. Yasam pratanchodhata daityatapitairasmabhirisha chasurair namasyate. Ya chasmrta takshanameva hantina sarvapado bhakti vinamra murtibhihi. That was the Aparajita Stuti. And I just want to conclude with this to have enough time for questions if you will have some. So I wish you to meditate on Devi, which is source of all creation and which is hidden in all of us, in all of creatures. So remember, she gave us here in this hymn so many different forms, so we can easily meditate on her. She dwells and acts in all different forms, in our intellect, in form of longing, in form of thirst, in form of confusion. She is everything in this manifest universe. So, because Mother is personified through these different attributes, she gave us this special opportunity to remember her. When you will be chanting these mantras during Navaratri, or not only during Navaratri, please remember to turn this longing towards Devi. Our senses are longing for the object of our senses. So we can just wonder if we can turn this longing towards Devi. And also, maybe we can notice the beauty, because each form of beauty is a reminder of her beauty, of her presence in our life. So we can just try to see this beauty everywhere, in every moment, as much as possible. And remember, Shakti is the power that gives us life. Like a bulb needs electricity, we need the Devi to live. Thank you so much. And now I come back to Sophia.
Namaste, everyone. Marina, thank you so much. That was so beautiful listening to you chant. Can everyone hear me? Koti ji? Koti ji?
Yes, Sophia ji.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay. Thank you so much. So as I was saying, that was very beautiful, and I can see so much of Shantalaji's teachings in you, and that's just, it was so calming and wonderful to listen to you. So thank you so much for sharing. If anyone has any questions for Marina ji, now is the time to ask those questions. And while you all are thinking of questions, what we can do meanwhile is, Marina ji, would you like to share your contact details with us in case any of our participants would like to get in touch with you? Koti ji, can you put that in the chat, please, and make it accessible to everyone?
Yes. So thank you so much for this kind words, Sophia, and thank you all listeners. Please forgive my mistakes. I want to take credit for all my mistakes. All my knowledge is only from my teachers, but all my mistakes are only mine. So please forgive me. And I wanted to say that next time when I will have a presentation, I will offer you a little bit more symbolic explanation of Devi Mahatmyam. Now it was just a gift for you so you can practice. And for any questions, for any follow-up, you can always reach me on my email.
Can you share your email with us, Marina ji, please?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I thought I am sharing the screen. Sorry.
No, that's okay. You can just say it. Koti ji will type it.
It's here. Can you see it?
Yes, we can.
Are there
So
any
for
questions?
all our participants, if you want to note it down, it's marina.doshenyan.yan, correct, at gmail.com.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like we have questions so far, but if anyone thinks of any questions, you can straight away email Marina ji now that you have her email address, or you can even send those questions to us at Indica Yoga and we will forward them to her. So before we sign out for this evening, I just want to remind everyone also that these sessions are recorded. So anytime you want to hear Marina ji's beautiful chanting or share with anyone, this will be available on the Indica Yoga YouTube channel as well as the Indica Yoga website. And for everyone, her email address is also in our chat box where you can now access it. And I think we have one question. So this is coming, Marina ji, from Mahesh Ashwane ji. By chanting the Devi Mahatmyam, can we drive evil spirits away, is the question.
Yes, so I will formulate it like this. So this is what Devi Mahatmyam is teaching us. So all evil spirits actually are happening in a battlefield of our own mind. So if we believe that something is evil, we are concentrating on this. And by this can have some power on us. But if we concentrate on beauty of the Devi, on her presence in all forms, so we are concentrating on Devi and we are protected. It is said that each mantra of Devi Mahatmyam is powerful and has the power to protect the sadhaka with the correct mindset. So, and especially in chapter 11, there are many powerful mantras. So for sure, it can protect everyone if one believes if one chants Devi Mahatmyam. But for this, I forgot to say, it is initiation is required For Tantroktam Devi suktam, which we have learned now, you can chant freely, but for the chanting of Devi Mahatmyam, you need qualified guru who will take care of you.
Thank you so much, Maheshji. I hope that answers your question. Then next, we have more of a comment than a question from Shalini ji, which is actually there is a question. She's very kindly saying that while listening to your beautiful chanting, she felt it was a way to accept herself through various forms of the Devi. And she's asking if that is the correct way, I guess, of understanding the chanting. And for example, if she dislikes some part of herself, like her anxiety, but if Devi is also part of her confusion, then she helps her accept her flaws. So if you would just like to comment on that. Shalini ji, thank you for writing.
Thank you, Shalini ji, for this comment and question. Indeed. Through reminding us again and again that she comes in so many different forms, like in this Aparajita Stuti, we were seeing she comes in even in the form of conclusion or error or our fear. She is everything. So the most important thing is to remember this and to not send the Devi away when it is happening. When we are sad, we can just notice this sadness and remember that Devi is present in our life, so we can easily transform this sadness into the recognition of Devi. And in this moment, the sadness might be disappearing without our effort. So we just accept and remember. I hope this answers
so much.
the questions.
That was very beautifully said. Thank you so much. So it doesn't seem like we have any more questions. Oh, wait, there's one more. Here we go. Mahesh ji is asking, can someone do black magic remotely? I mean, it's basically the same question, is whether we can, use the mantras to remove negative energy. And I think, Marina ji, you've already answered that question on so many levels. So thank you so much. Yes, Mahesh, I guess the answer to your question would be yes.
Yes, I just wanted to add one small comment regarding this. So when we are chanting, for example, Devi Mahatmyam, we are chanting also Devi Kavacham. And Devi Kavacham, through chanting of this wonderful Kavacham or protection mantras, we are remembering and installing different Devi's form in all parts of our body and in our mind. So for sure we can protect ourselves by chanting this. Yes.
Thank you so much, Marina ji. And for everyone who's joined us, I guess this is where we're going to end our session. But before we leave, is there any advice or last message you'd like to share with us?
Me? Yes. Yes, I just wanted to invite everyone to chant Devi's namas in this wonderful Ya Devi, popularly known as Ya Devi Stotram. And every time you chant, you remember, when you see the sunlight, you remember the Devi. When you are hungry, you remember the Devi. When you are thirsty, you remember the Devi. So in all possible situations, we try to remember the Devi. Thank you so much. Chaitra Navaratri.
I think that's such a beautiful message to end this session with. Thank you so much, Marina ji, once again for joining us and for sharing your knowledge and chanting with us. This was such a beautiful, calm, and such a feminine and powerful session also. Thank you so much. And for everyone who's joined us, I will see you next week again for our next session of Yoga Insights, and have a beautiful weekend, everyone. Thank you so much. Namaste.